Welcome, my dear learners. Today's lesson is transformation from complex to simple. In our previous class, we are talking about simple sentence to complex sentence. Now, we know that a complex sentence is a sentence having a subordinate clause and a principal clause. But in a complex sentence, there are two or more than two subordinate clauses. I am giving you an example. If a complex sentence begins with though or although, we have to make it a simple one by using in spite of or despite. In a subordinate clause, we find though or although, we have to make it a simple sentence by using in spite of or despite. For example, though he worked hard, he failed. Here, though he worked hard is a subordinate clause. He failed is a principal clause. One subordinate clause and he failed is a principal clause. In turning it, at the time of turning this complex sentence into a simple one, we have to make a phrase from this subordinate clause, because in a simple sentence there is no subordinate clause. We know it. We have to use in spite of and then working, because worked is a finite verb. It is in the first tense. Whatever it is, in spite of, as it's a preposition, we have to add ing to the main verb. To the main verb, I mean to the main verb, ing has been added to the main verb. Work plus ing, that is working, and then hard. In spite of working hard, he failed. Now, we have got a simple sentence that is in spite of working hard. This is a phrase. But in the complex sentence, though he worked hard, it's a subordinate clause. But in a simple sentence, there is no subordinate clause, because a simple sentence is a sentence having only one subject and one finite verb. Only one finite verb with one subject, and that is why, while at the time of turning a complex sentence into a simple one, we have to dissolve the subordinate clause. We have to make a phrase from the subordinate clauses, or from this subordinate clause. We have got this phrase, we have made this phrase in spite of working hard. So, if a complex sentence begins with, if as this a subordinate clause of a complex sentence begins with though or although, we have to use in spite of or despite. In spite of working hard or despite working hard, he failed. I'm giving you only one example here. You will get more examples from your grammar. From any grammar. If a subordinate clause begins with unless or if not, at the time of making that complex sentence into a simple one, we have to use without plus gerund. When we add ing to the main form of the verb or base form of the verb, we get gerund. That is, read plus ing, reading, go plus ing, doing. This way. I am giving you an example. If you do not read, you will fail. Or unless you read, you will fail. Here, this complex sentence begins with unless, but we can write this sentence in another way by using the subordinate clause at the end of the sentence, by using unless at the middle of the sentence. For example, you will fail unless you read. Subordinate clauses may come first or later. If we make it a simple sentence, we have to use without plus gerund, that is without reading. Without reading, you will fail. One thing we have to notice here, in the sentence, in the complex sentence, we find that the subject you is in the second person, but the subject may be in the third person also, maybe the third person also. Here the subject is in the second person, subjects may be also in the third person, may also be in the third person, or maybe third person also. Without reading, you will fail. This is not the only way of making this complex sentence into a simple one. We can make the simple sentence in another way. I am giving you the example. In case of you not reading, in case of you not reading, you will fail. So, we find that in two ways we can make this complex sentence a simple one. We can make the simple sentences in two ways. If the complex sentence begins with, or if the subordinate clauses of the complex sentences begin with unless or if not, we can make this type of sentences, we can make simple sentences from these types of complex sentences in two ways. By using without plus gerund, or in case of not, in case of you not, in case of is not, if the subject is in the third person. Now, I have given you two different examples, two types of examples, different examples. Complex sentences with unless or if not, complex sentences with though or though. But complex sentences, subordinate clauses of the complex sentences may begin with other conjunctions also. For example, if the subordinate clauses begin with if, we have to make simple sentences from those types of complex sentences by using in case of or by plus zero note. I am giving you an example. If you come, I shall give you a book. If you come, I shall give you a book. You know that if there is if in a clause, it refers to condition. If actually stands for condition. If you come, I shall give you a book. But if you do not come, I shan't give you a book. But if you come, I shall give you a book. Here, this clause, this subordinate clause begins with if not. But if the subordinate clause begins with if not, we have to use without plus gerund. I have given this example a few minutes ago. Now, this is a new example. We have to use in case of or by plus gerund. I am showing you the way how to make it a simple sentence. By plus gerund, by coming, or in case of your coming, in case of your coming, in case of your coming. In case of stands for condition, if stands for condition. So this subordinate clause has been turned into a phrase. With in case of. In case of your coming, I shall give you a book. I am giving you another example. You can, if your body fit, if you eat vegetables, you can keep your body fit if you eat vegetables. If here stands for condition. If you eat vegetables, in that case, you can keep your body fit. So, it stands for condition, and that's why we have to use in case of. You can use by also. You can make simple sentence in two ways. in case of you eating vegetables, in case of you eating vegetables, you can keep your body fit. You can also write this sentence in another way, that is, by eating vegetables, by eating. This is the base form of the verb eat. ing has been added to the base form of the verb eating. That's why we call it gerund. Because gerund does the function of a noun. By eating vegetables, by eating vegetables, you can keep your body fit. Dear learners, you know that subordinate clauses are of different types. Whatever it is, whether it's a noun clause, whether it's an adjective clause, or it's an adverb clause, whatever it is. In a simple sentence, at the time of making a simple sentence, you have to use a phrase or you have to begin a sentence with a phrase. So, no subordinate clauses will be present in the simple sentences, because a simple sentence is a sentence having a subject and a finite verb. One subject and one finite verb. But in complex sentences, we find two subjects, two finite verbs. Because there are two clauses. One is principal clause. One is a principal clause, and the another one is a subordinate clause. So you have to remember that at the time of making a simple sentence from a complex one, we have to make a phrase from a subordinate clause. I am giving you another example. Before that, I am giving you hints. That is, if there is so that in a complex sentence, we have to use to. At the time of making it a simple sentence, he was so weak that he could not walk. He was so weak that he could not walk. Here are two clauses. So weak that he could not walk. Here is a subject. Here is also another subject. This is finite verb, and here is also a finite verb. Could not work. So two finite verbs in two different clauses, two subjects in two different clauses. So we have to remember that in a simple sentence there is no subordinate clause. So this subordinate clause won't be present in the simple sentence. We have to make it a phrase. How can we make it a simple sentence? We can make it a simple sentence by using to in place of so. If you look at this sentence, you find that will is an adjective, and before that you find so, not verb. So you have to replace it by using to. He was too weak, that will be replaced. He was too weak, you have to use infinitive, I mean non-finite verb. And what is the main verb? Work is the main verb. So you have to use only the main verb, I mean the base form of the verb. So you find he was too weak to work. So here is no subordinate clause. Here is only one subject and one finite verb. This is subject and finite verb. So this is a simple sentence. I've given you some examples mentioning some number 1, 2, 3, 4. These are 4 types of sentences. But you can see, or you will find many sentences, I mean different types of sentences in your book. Whatever the subordinate clause is, whether it's a noun clause, whether it's an adverb clause, whether it's an adjective clause, whatever it is, you have to make it a phrase. You have to make phrases in different ways because sentences are of different types. For different types of complex sentences, you have to make different types of simple sentences. You can develop your skill by doing exercises. I am giving you another type of complex sentence. I know that he is honest. I know that he is honest. That he is honest is a subordinate clause, you know it. But this is a noun clause because I've told you that subordinate clauses are of, I've told you that subordinate clauses are of different types. I mean noun clause, subordinate noun clause, subordinate adjective clause, subordinate adverb clause. I know what do I know? I know that he is honest. That he is honest, this clause has been used here as an object. This clause has been used here as an object. It means that it does the function of a noun. What is the function of a noun? A noun functions in 2 ways. Either as a subject or as an object. To be used as a subject or as an object, this is the function of a noun. Function of a noun. So, what do I know? This is the object. This subordinate clause has been used here as an object. That is why it is called a noun clause. Whatever it is. It may be a noun clause, it may be adjective clause or a verb clause. Whatever it is, you have to make a phrase from this clause. How can you make it a simple sentence? You can make it a simple sentence. I know him. Him is the object, he is the subject. This is in the objective case. I know him, and then you have to use to be. I know him to be honest. I know him to be honest. You can see more examples in your grammar. Now, from simple to compound, simple to compound, simple to compound. Compound sentences are made with and, but, or. It doesn't mean that only with and, but, or compound sentences are made, not that. Now, I am giving you exercises. In my next class, I will discuss how to make a simple sentence from a compound one. I am giving you some examples as your home task. Home task. Complex to simple. Complex to simple. Number one, when he woke up. It was raining. Now, why he felt who is honest is respected everywhere. Only 3 sentences I have given you as your home tasks. No more today. In my next class, I will discuss the way of turning a complex sentence, turning a simple sentence into a compound one. That is from simple to compound. So, stay at home. Don't go outside because we are now facing a crisis. If you go outside, you have to wear masks. Okay, thank you.